YouTube. But we're live. Okay. So as we get our day going, I am Brenda Power, medicine woman, and you too can have a happy life. And what am I going to do? I'm going to say hello to all my wonderful friends and fans and my peeps. And it feels good to be of service, to take what I've learned and pass it on. People actually want to know, why are you happy? How are you able to not go nuts when people piss you off? And I'm like, but people don't piss me off like you may think. There's a lot of things that we do. And I love when I get to read what everybody writes, and I just love it. So this is a happy day. And why? Because every day should be a happy day. And when I wake up and I feel spirit going, hello, good morning. And I'm like, oh, my heart, my immaculate heart starts to feel not the people, not the ego, not the body's consciousness, but to feel the connection to who I truly am. And the spirit is in the body, the body is in the spirit. And when you move that thought from the spirit's in the body to the body is in the spirit, it just, I don't know. So I woke up and I'm happy because I get to communicate with spirit every day, but I also get to communicate with you. And it's so exciting. Why? Because I get to bond closer to all of you and spirit. So I am Brenda Power, medicine woman, and I started off completely different today, and that is what the part of me is called random. Some people, spontaneous? Yeah, I guess, but it's the energy of just allowing yourself to know the nature of your element, where you need structure and where you need to have to be random. And the more you know about who you are, what element you are. And when it comes to astrology, I like to focus on not my good traits. I like to focus on the shadows so I can develop those. That's telling me, you come here and this is what your lessons are. You need to develop these things. You need to develop past the issues and limitations. And so it makes me feel very good. Oh, I thank you. It's one of my favorites, actually. When I started lifting weights, these started getting a little tight around here. But other than that, it means I'm doing good. Spirit is just like, I swear there's people who have come on and they've got fairies and they've got, pixies. And I can feel all these wonderful, joyous creations that, ego would say they don't exist, but spirit knows. Spirit knows they do exist. I just got to get a few things adjusted. Oops. And do it properly, actually. Spirit. One of the things that I want you to understand is that we have all of these hormones in our wonderful body. And when our body gets around like music, you get empowered. And you have to be careful when you make, spirit just took it away. There's a certain hormone, Oxytocin, I believe. The trusting hormone, the happy hormone, I believe that's it. I can't remember all of a sudden, but that's all right. Just understanding it's the trusting hormone. And that's what they want you to focus on, not the name of the hormone as much as that there's a hormone inside of us. One of the major things it does is it helps us trust. Look at all these faces. Hello. And when you have that trusting hormone in music will get you going and you'll feel empowered. It creates that trusting hormone, joy, happiness. But if you're in seminars and you're in a place where they're going to sell you something, understand that's part of what they do is they tap into that trusting hormone to get you to move, to get you to spend, to get you to tithe, to get you to, to move you. And you just have to be careful because some people are not legit when it comes to being honest with helping you with who you are. So that trusting hormone that happens when we get super happy, excited, and we feel like we can believe in something and be something. And you have to, and in the moment, oh my God, the deal sounds so good that there'll never be another deal in your life. But it can also trap you into something that you're not ready for. Now, some people say, well, I'm totally ready. But if you're not mentally ready, okay, let's say it's to start a business, or it's just to start an adventure, and you've convinced yourself up here, but all the programs in the body's consciousness is like how you did anything is how you do everything. You have to really ask yourself, am I ready body conscious wise? And I'm not talking about physical shape, I'm talking about your programs. So, I was at a place once where the meeting was, hyped up, makes you empowered. Music was blasting. The let's get you going alive. Woo, 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 like a concert. And at the end, you have all these options, and you end up spending thousands if you weren't careful. And you go in going, well, I'm not going to spend any money. And then you go in and you're like, oh my God, I spend money. And it's good for you, but really you don't have that to invest. And all of your limitations that you haven't cleaned out, cleared out, changed are coming to the surface now, getting ready to smack you around. This is why some people can successfully invest and be great at it. And then some people will invest and then they're like, oh my God, that was the worst decision of my life. And you can even work on a small scale, because I'm in this group and I'm watching people I'm going, well, this is just shit. Nah, 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 nah. And if you come in with that attitude in the first place, but you think that they're the ones that's going to change your life and you don't need to be responsible for it, then guess what? You're going to fail and you have nobody to blame but yourself. But if you're always seeing the negative side, it was funny when I first got here, the deprogramming that spirit wanted me to go through is like somebody would be talking happy and all of a sudden I was talking negative, and spirit goes, you don't have to do that here now. And I'm like, wait, what? I had no clue that my body's consciousness was talking in negative phrases. I'm like, oh. And so you have to really catch yourself. So until you can really take that leap and then that adventure, yeah, I guess that is a word. My brain said that didn't sound right. The journey of life is now. You can have a goal, in which I always tell people, set it to happiness, or, if you can't do anything else, set it to happiness. And the importance of that value container is what is important to you about happiness. But if you have to undo that, I can't get happiness unless it's outside of me, then you're going to have a road that can be really rough, because eventually you're going to have to see all the different perspectives on the kaleidoscope of life. And you're going to eventually see, happiness is an inside job. And one of the huge part of getting your body's consciousness in line with what you would like in your head is gratitude. Gratitude is knowing that you received it once. Oh, I'm grateful I have this. But getting that thought process that it's about you received. Now, some people, oh, no, I'm a giver. I'm not a receiver. You have to understand yin and yang work together. Like, for instance, if your house is a mess, then you're really being yin, because it's about exploring, about this and then that and getting into it. And yang is about cleaning it up and straightening it up. And if you can have yin and yang, so artistically I can be yin, and then all of a sudden making it come together on a canvas, or making it come together in an art form of food, that's yang. But I also have to clean up. And working together and learning about yourself. So when you're happy, understand it's an inside job. You chose to say, I can look at this from a negative aspect, or I can look at it from a positive aspect. I can look at it and say, oh my God, you learn that gratefulness is I received. Thankful, Thank you is that's beforehand. Now, after you receive, you can say thank you. So thank you therapy is what Spirit told me is that it's before and after, but you need to pay attention to that. So again, you wonderful people out there that are so grateful, that means you must have received. And there's no shame in that because Spirit wants you to come into balance. And if you allow yourself to receive lots of excitement and love that makes the body's consciousness raise its oxytocin to trust way too much before you are ready, then you're going to have lessons on this journey in the now. You'll have lessons. And what you think today will be your tomorrow. What you focus on today will be your tomorrow. What you focus on right now is now. Guess why? Because you're making chemical peptides, which are called emotions. Okay? Not all chemical peptides are emotions, but these chemical peptides of emotions are created by these thoughts. And the more that you focus and dwell, then you're going to end up taking them up as that this is your temperament. This is my home. This is my personal reality. Okay? Why did I say personal reality? Because this is your personality. And if those emotions are not coped with, managed, dealt, resolved, then you're going to have shitty coping tools. And then you're going to store them in your body's consciousness. And then your body, the meridians, will start telling the tale. It'll do the dance on meridians and different things, stories will come up. Okay? So it's important to understand that when these meridians are doing their job, the energy won't move. You can have stagnant energy. You can have frozen energy. You can have submerged acupuncture points. You can have energies that are too far out, too far in. It's amazing what energies do, or they invade each other, or they wrestle back and forth. So remember, you're just energy. You're these two magnetic pulses that never touch. Like you think I'm touching right now, but if you were to understand the nature of all of this, the science behind it is that you're never touching. So this dance, and eventually you're going to be able to feel it differently. Like this, in a relationship, you're equal, but then all of a sudden, if somebody started to throw their weight around, they can become lofty. Now they can be higher up, or they can lord it over you, or it can invade your energy. And then your space becomes less. How you react to them, you can make your space less. And the more love you have, you usually expand your space. That leads to feeling. So as you have your emotions here, and you're feeling it, you need to be responsible for the energy you bring into the room. So if I'm happy, joyful, and then over here is grumpy ass, and I because my guard's down, and I'm used to reacting that way, this is my programs, I'm going to become sourpuss. I'm going to be probably attracting that in, changing my chemical peptides. Now I'm emotionally going to feel and think differently because I can't be me, or you feel a separation, or you feel this lack. Then it becomes a problem. You have got to learn to, because you're an empath, and if you're a kinesthetic, then you need to protect yourself. So that's where I talk about energy medicine. This is the little things that you do by moving your body. You're thinking, just waving your hands around works. You're an electromagnetic being. Trust me. You've seen how you can run a magnet on things and it changes. That's what you're doing. You know, there's nothing mystical about you except for you don't know it. And when you begin to learn it, you're like, oh. And then the more you allow Spirit to teach you, the more you're really going to make a major difference in your life. I feel like my camera's crooked. Not this one, but that one. That's okay. Now, when you begin to use energy medicine, and basically we're made of figure eights. You can do small figure eights, big figure eights, but you're doing an emotion or sweeping of the magnetic and electromagnetic field that can actually help you increase your space of protection. When that occurs and other people come in, Mr. Grumpy Ass, you can then be tuning into Spirit, open up your immaculate heart, use your intuition, and Spirit will just say, here's an idea. How about we just walk out of the room? Or here's an idea. They look like they need love. And you don't have to use guilt and martyrism to cause you to lose yourself. You have a healthy boundary and you say, okay, Spirit, what am I supposed to do to help this person? Just sit there. Okay. If you're willing to sit there, then you sit there. Sometimes you just smile. It's amazing how just putting a smile can change things. I mean, Spirit smiled at me. I mean, we were traveling. I was getting so nauseous and so sick and so jittery. My nerves were like, I can't take these curves on the road anymore. This motion is really doing my head in my body. And we stopped and I got out and I'm crying and I'm just so upset. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't control myself. What the heck? And because I believed through my sensory system that this can happen to me. So I'm sitting on the edge of the tailgate of the vehicle and I'm like, oh my God. And so then I couldn't even think what hope therapy point should I use. Spirit says, just put your hand here. And I'm like, okay, I better bring the blood back up into my forebrain. That's where you create reality and you need energy in there. I wasn't creating the oxytocin in there. And so anyways, I'm like, oh, I look down, my eyes caught the ground just right. And I saw a smile. Now, if you followed me, you know that I collect smiles from the universe. And this time, the universe had just rearranged all these rocks. But just this smile popped right out at me. And all of a sudden, it was an instantaneous, ah! And I was so grateful that I received a beautiful smile that is like, wow. It kicked in all of these triggers of happiness, joy, gratefulness, that my body began to feel better, my mind felt better, and I was started to balance out physical, mental, emotional, and spiritually. Sometimes when you're sitting with grumpy ass, it's just a smile. And yes, you may have to deprogram yourself from that, hey, I get punished if I'm too happy. This is where it gets confusing as a child, because as a child, you are running around happy, joy, 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 joy. And if everybody comes in as stressed, they could make you feel like shit because you're happy and they're having a stressful day. Okay, just remember to like or love up there and you get a card. Share away, you get a card. And if you put a hashtag, now listen, if I find, and I'm not sure how to reward you at, but my Spirit told me to do something different. Like when you make comments or something, I'm not sure. I want to see, I want to explore, I want to know, like on YouTube, like when you make different comments, like hashtag medicine or Brenda Medicine Woman. I don't know. I don't know exactly yet, but I just know that Spirit says we need to get the energy flowing a little bit more. And Amy Jensen brought that to my attention. And it's like, good point. Spirit says, yeah, we'll figure this out. And I want to reward you. I'm not paying you to do anything. I want to reward you. Spirit wants you. If you're going to put the effort in, I'm going to put the effort in. That means that we're going to do yin and yang. We're going to keep things energetically in balance, balanced. You want them balanced because when they're imbalanced, they can create karma. And who needs to get their ass bitten? Okay. So you are going to allow yourself to listen to Spirit. How can I help Brenda to get her word out there more and more? And hopefully I'll see it and Spirit will get in the line. Like the other day, somebody was supposed to get 1 card. Spirit had me send 2. And it wasn't until later I'm like, you were meant to get 2. And it wasn't an accident on my part. Spirit felt that person needed 2 cards just because 1 message wasn't going to be enough. A lot of times I'll sit there and go, oh my God, I only got like 10 minutes to do something. Oh, that's a very good hashtag. And so it's like I'm running along and all of a sudden they'll pick a card that means I have to upload it twice because there's 2 cards to it. And it's like A and B. And it's like, oh man, seriously? Okay. And so they're like, Spirit goes, did you just complain? No. Because it really isn't any longer. It's just, I like easy convenienced. And it's like but then all of a sudden, and I'm like, really? You want to send them that card? Spirit goes, who's sending the cards? Oh, you are. And then all of a sudden the person will come, that's such a perfect card. And I'm thinking, wow, thank you for Spirit for pointing out that you picked out a great card again. And now I can understand it. So I learned to trust even more, not my nasty programs. And so you end up growing. Ooh, I love that. Somebody said shared in 4 groups, and hopefully it'll show up on the thing. And then if not, I usually, when you have to give me some time, because it takes a while to go through all of this, the hearts and give cards, all the shared, and then I have to go through all of this, take down the messages, and then when you tell me certain things and I can't find it, Spirit usually will word you anyway. Smiling Spirit, that's cute. Somebody gave me I don't know why they jumped off topic, but it's okay. Somebody sent, I just need to give you an update. And it was actually, it sounded like a great testimony. They have, ever since just the one session, they had a miraculous feeling of the anxiety that normally plagues them wasn't there. And there's another emotion that just the panic, maybe, I don't know, it wasn't there. And that was like, oh, Spirit has done a great job, because when my clients come in or video call, and these are private sessions, the amazing part is that Spirit just zones right in, and the person's, if they don't even know what they're going to work on, Spirit does. Can I tell you? Can Spirit tell you what it wants to work on? And all of your loved ones will come through, or your spirit guides will come through, or archangels will come through. Oh gosh, this is what your soul said, that if you were to communicate, it needs to work on this layer, so it can change in many, many things. So when it comes down to all of these things about you, you have to learn that you're a spirit. You have a soul recorder, and the soul has a contract of why shit's happening. You're here to figure out why you did it, but you're also here to remove the limitations, open up that immaculate heart, open up that intuition that we shut down. And when you live in that Christ consciousness, it's not that you have to go to church. It's understand, you go to church, enjoy it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about who and how you're made. Okay, this is physical body. And we live in the land of illusion. And in order to beam in this body, okay, our consciousness beams in this body, but Spirit is everywhere. Consciousness is everywhere. But it's like our consciousness has a certain signature mark to know which body that they're programmed into. And so when people say they're really invaded, a lot of times I will find that it is that they have split their thoughts because they can't cope, handle, deal, and manage. And it's like, I'm very surprised by this. And then you can see where you have piggybacks of different things. And I know you know what I'm talking about, as far as some people that are afraid and have gone through specific things. They have magnetically hooked up to things that they shouldn't. So that energy needs to be removed. Oh, thank you very much. Yes. And a lot of somebody says I was a very strong medium. And the thing, one of the things is Spirit's talking to all of you, and in such a different way. It gathers all of who's going to be on. Spirit already knows ahead of time, and Spirit says, this is what we're talking about. So I never can really write down and say, the topic for today is, no, I can't do that. Usually it's because Spirit says, we'll wait until you show up, and then we'll wait for the alignment, because you can have all things possible, and there's all these different scenarios, and we'll see how it unfolds, because it could be my decision, it could be your decision, but how it is coming together. So when you allow yourself, ooh, beautiful soul. I love the word soul. I love the word hope too. Anyway, Spirit is blinging all over the place. It's realigning up. There's a lot of them. Okay, butterflies. I don't know if that means transformation or what, but oh my God. And it's not just a monarch butterfly. There's the blue one, and there's all these different colors. So that could be a bunch of souls that are doing it. Now, how I look at it is like, I see people as souls. The ego sense of how some people look at it is that, oh, here's a Muslim, here's a Jew, here's a, race, color, there's the black, there's the white, there's, you know what I mean? It's interesting how we can see those, and that's beautiful that we can see and respect one another, but we haven't got that far. But as you look at a soul, it's amazing how a soul has created what they want to be, where they want to live, and all this. And so these butterflies is that I see so many different kinds, which means a lot of people are transforming, not dying and going to spirit. No, not, are waking up and they're transforming themselves, their mind, their consciousness that was so asleep. So the Christ consciousness is that you're waking up every day. The planets are lying differently every day. More and more of the consciousness is evolving, and that means that you need to change and heal all the things that you chose in the evolution process from God to here. And you have those evolution processes which go through all the chakras, and you can have endless shit issues, but that just means that there are limitations and energy needs to be flowing through it, and we just need to work through it. But how you look at it is through your emotions. I'm thinking of making my personal deck. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I haven't really found it out there. Spirit says that, so I need an artist. I need to figure out what I need to do. But this deck is coming. I can feel it. It's so strong. And I've got several decks, but there's one main deck that's really going to define that it's meant from spirit. And the classes are coming together. And so there will be a support group, but it'll be a coaching. Okay. This is a place that you would go to talk. But the thing is that it's also about learning how to communicate with one another about the subject. But at the same time, you're entering into it through one field of thought processing. And this is where, like, when people say, okay, I had this issue today, and then we'll see how other people support. Now, I've noticed that some people are like, oh my God, Spirit's going to come in and tell me I said it wrong. Okay, we need to heal those fears because you are providing different perspectives. And when you do that, then people get to say, oh my God, that's the way I think. And so when Spirit comes through and says, okay, how about if we look at it this way or heal this or do this, then all of a sudden you have a door that was you could never see before. And you have an opportunity now to say, I can grow upon this, or I can, didn't even know it was a limitation. And then you can resolve it and grow again. But with the new level of consciousness that we're getting into, you get to see that limitations are starting to remove themselves a little bit. Like your abilities of your intuition kicks in. That means the layer of where you shut it down is lifted, but now you have to look at your beliefs and your values. And the beliefs is where you've decided that you accepted, believed, and gave your willpower. Now it's your turn to say, you know what? I do not accept this anymore. And I change the belief and I take my energy off of that. It's not like, oh, I don't believe in killing. And, and you hate that so much that you've taken, no. You put energy still in that belief so that it stays alive in the matrix. You need to unplug, which means you take your power off it. Yes, you can understand that happens, but you don't have to invest in it to keep it alive. It's like a stock market. You don't need to put your energy into that. So you take the energy off, you take the pain off, you take off that, and you're no longer allowing that willpower of yours of energy to be so angry or upset to say that has to stay alive. You're changing consciousness. You're waking up, people. And part of it is that you need to begin to be fully aware of how you actually use and create. Wow, Spirit's a mouthful today. Now we're just going to breathe in. And like we always do, if people want a paid reading, you're more than welcome to do so. And we have 1111. $11 for 11 minutes or $7 for 6 minutes. And the details are up above. And if you want healing tools, free ones, then medicinewomanforyou.weebly.com. Now I'm going to turn on my thing. So just to make sure, private sessions are very useful and helpful because there are things that you may not want to say. This thing, if somebody wants to call through Facebook, that means, and y'all know what Facebook is because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. And you know what the friends page and messaging page is. And if I'm your friend, then we can call each other. And that means the first person that would call would get a 5-minute free read. or however long Spirit says. Okay. Spirit has changed its avenue. And there's a lot of people, somebody's grieving really heavy out there right now. And it's hard for them to spiritually see because the grief is so strong. The beliefs, the feelings, the memories, the pictures, they are hooked. All I just see is a weeping woman. Yeah, all I see is a weeping woman. Anyway, she needs our love. I don't know who it is. And so this is how you do it as a group conscious, is that you know that there's pain and suffering out there. Okay? Doesn't mean you have to lose yourself, but you're just going to hook up to Spirit. So we're just going to breathe in and out. And you're just going to say, now notice it's your ego. And now I want you just to imagine that the heart is opening up. It's fully protected. And now you're going to feel Spirit, the beam that's in there. You don't have to hook up into anything. You're just going to feel it come alive. And you may feel a sensation in energy or heat or something in this area. You'll feel it in the back too. If you don't, no worries, you will. Now I feel it going it down into my gut of intuition. Yes. And then you say, because two or more gathered together, agree upon. So we're going to send love out. Now this is endless love. And with your signature of I agree and love, you're just going to allow that energy to just start flowing from you. And some of it can be beamed out. It knows where to go. You're going to put it out on the bandwidth. If you don't know where to go, if you're really overthinking it, then fine. Send their energy back up to the bandwidth where the creator of all that is. And you say, thank you, Spirit. They send the energy to those that need it. And then you can imagine it coming down. And those that want to do both, you're more than welcome to. That energy is there. It's awakened. And you're sending love out. And we're going to help sending energy to balance. Just imagine that you have an energy ball. So get that energy moving. And you begin to pull apart, you can feel the pulsing, the sensation. And as you begin to push back and forth, you begin to feel a ball. Some of you may feel the increase. You may even see color. Fine, notice the color. But then you're just going to, it's an endless energy ball, and you're going to aim it out. Like this is what always reminds me of a Care Bear to some degree. Because either you send it out to your heart or you send it out to your hands. Yeah, and see, now I needed it. So I just felt like I had a hug around me. You can stay as long as you want, or you can do some Reiki symbols. Okay, so now Spirit says things are... I send love to my friend Angie. Well, you just got a group of energy. Now, the thing is be gratitude. Know that you've received before, and there's nothing to stopping you from that you can't receive this. And just allow yourself to receive. And what's interesting is people's abilities can be waking up so much that, it may just seem strange. For instance, I have this beautiful woman that just like, can you do a reading for me? I don't understand why I have insects, moths, ants, lightning bugs. I mean, endless insects. And one of the things is that I was looking, and I was so surprised because that's part of her ability. She's supposed to tune into the tiny world. I mean, her room's immaculate, how she cleans, but these little buggers come in and go, we want to talk. And it's like knowing, and here's the thing, when you begin to understand what the metaphysical definitions of insects are. So you listen to animal spirits. When you begin to do that, you will go one step further, and that you'll begin to you say, oh, now I got that. So you're building a file system. Okay? And if you were allow yourself to connect with maybe a deck of cards, oracle cards, with really good meaning in them, then you can allow yourself to build up the file system again. So every time you see a particular lightning, or like this person had fireflies, one was dead and the other one was half dead. And she's like, oh, she's trying to figure out how to get the half dead alive. And prior to that, she's learning through how to do spiritual investigation, is what I teach, about looking at little things and her dreams. Now, once you begin to understand how to analyze dreams the way that spirit likes to do it, wham, bam, you'll begin to even not even have to have a whole dream, just have one line, which Amy has gotten one line, and it was just so massively deep. So we were so the lady was looking at the fireflies, and so then I says, well, here's the meaning of the fireflies. It says, keep hope strong. New inspiration is awakening. Trust your own rhythm. Hope is critical to fulfillment and accomplishment. Now, this is aimed at the fact she has a goal, and the doubting thoughts come in, or the boredom energy comes in, which means you're disconnected from spirit. And you know how those thoughts go. Now, she had to go and work on the body consciousness, which is through the hope therapy, started to release the emotions that would create certain thoughts. And it was such a perfect timing. It was so deep at what she was thinking and doing. It just shocked her that, wow, this really resonates. And it does. It's a very, very, very wonderful thing that can occur. I was looking for that thing that I had sent to Miss Amy, and it was just, she couldn't remember anything about the dream except for the last line. And that's one of the things I teach, is that if you can just remember the last line, it can make a major difference in your world, because you can really, really connect. I mean, it was, bats don't wake up till 11. And the bats is about symbolizing uncleansed demons, annoyances, represents rebirth, unrealized potential. You need to let go of old habits. Your current path is not compatible with your new growth and your new goals. She was thrown in a position that was to visit family. She got to really see the who she used to be, how she used to, what part she used to play, how things used to go together. And now she's in a different state of mind, the spiritual mindset more. Oh, she got to see the difference. And I had to teach her, non-judgment, use discernment about how she sees it, and then what to heal if it gets to you. And we'll go a little bit further. Bats don't wake up until 11. 11 is about your intuition, mastering in the particular domain of spirituality and enlightenment. So in order for her to really wake up, she needs to heal all of those past programs. So like I said, the classes are coming. It's just taking and trying to decipher which and how they're all connected, so you begin to see why they're so important. Okay. Now, Amy said she wanted to call in, and I haven't been able to talk to her this morning because I have been extremely busy. And so, yeah, if you want to call in, we'll find out what it is you want to talk. And then just understand, people, yes, we do little mini reads. You get 1 minute free reading, and we'll get to that. Oh, I'm glad I said that. Maybe my timer, which I can't reach. I got it. So if she does call in, then we will hear that. You're welcome, Lisa. So far, all the energy seems to be working. Answer. Okay. So you may have to turn me down because I can hear me through your phone.
Hi.
Is everybody here okay? So you may have to talk a little louder or closer to the phone. So what's up, Miss Aim? Hi. Now remember, I'm doing a series with Amy, which is you get to see a woman's journey through spiritual enlightenment, or spiritually evolving ego, which is that empowerment through enlightenment. So, what is it you'd like to talk about? Oh, hold on, the volume for some reason. There, now do it again.
It was really quite interesting going out to visit my family.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we get to we haven't had feedback about it. So go ahead and tell us. Remember, just to let us set it up, she has been developing her spirituality and she has been using healing tools to wake her up. And you're doing a fast track of awakening. So, you had this wonderful opportunity. Bless you. I think someone sneezed. And this wonderful opportunity was at first she wasn't for sure, so we healed that. And then she's like, oh, yes, I want to do this. And she's watching some children, so hopefully you can hear her beyond. So now you got yourself in that position. You had to heal the fact you didn't like driving in a car or being on long trips. So she got to face all those limitations. And so what's up?
Oh, it was really enlightening to see where my sister is in relation to where I am.
So you got to see where you were before.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So tell us, was that shocking? What was it?
It was oh my God. I can't believe I can't believe, that that's where I was at one point.
Why was it shocking?
Geez. It just was. It was like, wow.
And sometimes spirit will have you have an experience that you can't use language because English sometimes, or wherever culture you're from, the point is that sometimes you don't have the right translation to express like, holy, F, because you're like, you see the difference, the difference. And it's not that you're comparing, you're just in this compare where you were, but you're also now in a discernment state of going, wow, I've grown, I've moved. And not to say you're any better than anybody. It's just that you're beginning to start to see through your spirit instead of just ego. And sometimes there's not a correct words for that, except for, oh my God, because it's an epiphany and it's whoa. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. And I had gotten my sister a reading last week, and her husband came home before we expected him to, and she said, no, I can't do it.
And that is quite true of what happens, is that it's very simple. You begin to start noticing where you have your hidden fears and where you have put restrictions on who and what you can be. And we like to say it's because of these other people. It's like we'd like to say it's the out there, but the inner world creates the outer world. And so these inner programs are being challenged, and you get to look at it. Now, in ego, it hurts like hell and it's scary as F, and you just don't know where to go from there, except for your old patterns of shutting down, because you know that if you don't nip this in the bud, you have created an outcome that could be worse than where you are. So it's best to do nothing at all or run. But when you wake up and you start to heal it and you challenge those, the thing is that you do it and apologize anyway, or you do it and you don't need to apologize, but you don't die. The hardest part is there's a part of you that feels like you're going to die if you cross that line. Anything else?
No, it was a lot of fun though.
So did you? Go ahead. No, you go. You go.
There was one point where I think it was like the second day I was there. I was there for a week. Like the second day I was there, I'm like, oh my God, I just got to get the heck out of here.
So you wanted to run. You wanted to run.
Yeah, I wanted to run.
Why is that? The feeling?
I just want to be home.
You want to be home. Because now you're in somebody else's comfort zone. And the thing is that what's not that you'd want to go to somebody's house and you just wish you're home. This is an agitation in a way that you're beginning to say, I don't vibe that way. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you don't vibe that way, it's a totally different feeling. Like, oh my God. And you don't want to lose all that growth that you've done.
Right.
So here's then becomes the challenge is that how many times did you allow yourself to go into old habit and then catch yourself? Were you able to catch yourself if you went into old habit?
Yeah, I did. I can't count how many times.
But you got a recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
And recovery for people to understand is like, well, let's say people are fighting and the turnaround time, the recovery time to where you get back to love. In this case, for spirit is that your recovery time is that how long does it take you to go and get into your old nasty habits or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, how fast does it take you to catch it and then wake up and make a different choice? So that's what that is.
Just like a couple minutes, but there were times where I wanted to just take and bitch slap my sister.
Okay, now that's good that you point that out because we love our loved ones and we want them to wake up with us, but that's where we have to value and respect that their soul has created this adventure for them. And it will be different than yours. But that their soul is meant to show you the contrast and the differences. And all you do is you send up through the bandwidth and through the heart, and you just say, okay, I support this person to wake up when they're ready. They got extra energy to wake up. And if I'm supposed to be there to help them wake up, so be it. Thank you. But you don't get to call the time on that. Their soul does. So yeah, right. But it's coming to that realization is that you love them, you want to help them, you want to bitch slap them, you're like, oh my God, I want you to wake up and feel and know the experience like I got. And the thing is nobody will ever, ever, ever understand your experiences until they go through it themselves. And right. So again, learning great amount of respect is so important. Okay. Yeah. So anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that we did a live update. That helps out greatly.
Yeah.
So.
Miss me while you're on your trip. Yes, I did, honey.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys later. You take your happy little family and continue to watching the show or go do whatever it is you need to do. But thank you for calling in, Miss Amy.
Yep. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye. Bye, Joanna.
Bye.
Okay, so that was wonderful. And again, you're going to see a series of things that me and her are doing to wake up. Now, I'm also looking for people that think they're awake and they want to awaken further, or they have issues and they just beginning to have a lot of health shit, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. But you have to be willing to allow me to. Yeah, you have to allow me to have all rights to the videos, but there are some guidelines. We do it very respectfully. We don't use names, and we try to use different. So it's not that we fabricate the story; it's the story, but we want to protect all of those involved because it's not about hurting anyone; it's about growing. So down the road, those options are going to be available. Okay. So somebody said something, somebody who's trying to get a reading. I'm just going to see if anything's working properly here. I hope this does not screw up my machine, but we'll find out. Ah, I love to see people's, what do you call it? Ooh, there we go. Love to see people on in different directions. So we're going to be doing the mini reads. I'm going to just double check to make sure that nothing has come through. Okay, nothing has. If in the middle of the reading, if somebody has paid, I will stop, honor those, and then I'll get back to doing the mini reads. Now, as we begin to do this, understand. Okay. You'll get a reading as far as you want to pay for it. Yes. Hopefully PayPal won't be screwed up. Let's see if I can find that one particular link, because sometimes people do better with the link that I give. It's just finding it. So I'm going to put the link on directly in there for you. This will help you see. How do I hit? No, that's not it. Oh, pin. There it is. That link should work. Just to let you know. Technology is great. Okay. So now, Sophie knows exactly what to do. What are you, tuned in me, Sophie? Yes. You just say, yes, please. And then whatever it is that you want me to do, you know, if it's talk to the dead and you had the dead and then give a name. If it is, I have a physical issue, you can say like, yes, please, cancer. I'm going to assume that's physical and not the sign. And your soul will tell you why you're doing that particular part of the journey. So, since Sophie kicked it off, I take it back. Sophie wasn't just the only one. So Amy started. So we'll do Amy and then we'll go down to Sophie. So again, don't say it 1,000 times because spirit will sometimes ignore people. And sometimes if you write too much, spirit can't see it. So if you're writing and making a comment to somebody else, we don't have time to read that. Okay. All I can hear is rock me mama like a wagon wheel. Hey, mama, rock me. Okay, I'm not sure why. Somebody wants country music. So Amy Jensen, let's start you off. Spirit says there's somebody from the other side. I feel like it's your mother and your brother. They're saying, don't panic. Yes, we used to be just as nasty as everybody else. But you will be free of that, because they can see, so there's a part of them that already see in your future that says that you're doing well, you're well above target. Good thing you began to heal. And they said there's a panic that your body is doing that you don't know you're doing. Good. All right. So that's the dance. You want her to focus on, okay. So you're going to write down the word rejection on a piece of paper, put it on your thymus, and then you're just going to do this. You're going to tap. Remember, there's a hair, mine's crooked, but usually you have a hairline that represents both right and left brain. You're going to make sure your fingers tap on both sides. And then you're going to tap on the thymus where that piece of paper is. And you're just going to think rejection. And then it'll shift. Okay? Hopefully it'll shift. And hopefully it will, the panic will disappear. Now, okay, so Amy Patterson, somebody died. Stephen, are you here? Loud and clear. She is ashamed. And awkward. They say he says that everything's all good, thumbs up, let's get all the way. But he says that you're doing a particular thing that actually you're beginning to wake up and seeing what childish ways that were happening. But the emotion is an auto response. And you're bringing that into all the other relationships that's happened along the way. Was I meant to? Yes, I was meant to die. And it was just part of my soul contract. But you're doing great. Apparently you're on a diet. You're doing great. Watch your reactions. Watch your reactions. Your reactions are going to kick you in the ass. So when you become aware of your reactions, you can decide if you really need to be acting that way, thinking that way. Sophie, Christopoulos. Yeah, y'all gonna love me for my lack of ability there, but I got abilities everywhere else. So my iPad, I think, is getting too old because it has not been responding. So I'm glad that this is working. We're going to do Sophie, and then we're going to do the paid reading for Sonia. For Sophie Christopoulos, your energies are off in your body. So that means the muscular tendon. Okay. So you're going to look up TSING acupressure points. T-SING. Okay. Acupuncture points. And then you're going to tap all those. These are on your fingers and your toes. And they're saying that this is related to compatibility. Okay, see, these are the acupuncture points, the sing points on the toes and the fingers. Compatibility. You're incompatible with something, and the energies in the body are making it so. Why is the dance happening this way? Because you feel the lack of power, and literally, it's like your muscles have the lack of power. And finding that inner strength to be able to tell somebody to fuck off. There's one person in particular as big. You're not going to die. It's just you don't have the strength. And so if you were to tap those points, you can do them individually. You can do 2 at a time. You're going and do it about manipulate that point at least 30 times on both hands and both sets of toes, because that energy, you need to get that power back. And if I said, well, why? Is there something particular? No, it's just been an old habit that you need to interrupt that habit. So it'll help you push beyond your arrested development. And just remember, you're not going to die. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to touch my thing. Hopefully nobody else says a bunch of comments. And we're going to set this for 11, or how long do you want it for? 11. Gotcha. So first person we're going to do is Sonia Biz. And then after that will be Voida Helanis. I don't know why that says $9.63. So I don't know if that's a 7-minute or a 6-minute read on that one. Whoever wants the second payment. This one's obvious. It's 11. Getting right to the right screen. Sonia Biz. Getting to the right screen. That would be helpful. Okay. The only problem is that is it possible, Amy, that you can take a picture from Sophie down? Like, I know Danny is next, but if you could take a picture of those people that said yes, please, okay, then I won't lose it. That's my problem, is that I don't want to lose this. So yeah, if you could take a picture from Sophie down, if you can get back there, if anybody can, then that would be great, because I've got to go all the way down to here, and I got to make sure. Recall. Okay. So you're Sonia Biz. Do you want to call in, or do you just want to tell me what you want to talk about? And then we'll go from there. Pilly. Pilly is the 7-minute. Gotcha. All right, so we'll go over here. As soon as I hear back from... Yes, I see that, Pilly. Good job. Marie Cowley is... I don't want to start unless I know what it is that you want, the direction of me, because we can go in so many different directions. And Spirit says that my head hurts. So there's, is this from me or from, was it a hit in the head, or is this a detox? So the body is going through something in particular. And there's a digestion system issue too. I'm magnetic and random. Okay. Ready? Go. Hatred. Yours, others. And you're magnetically pulling that in? No, you're observing it. But you're watching people have auto response to hatred. So you're in a conversation that they're showing me, and you're in a different space. You don't see it that way, but it's amazing how you're starting to see a thread. It's like, let's say, whatever particular culture or wherever you're at, wherever your environment is, or your country, it is, I hate, and then you'll say a name of a race or your or culture. But you're not saying it. You're watching how people are coming up with this thing, and it's like very old grudges or beliefs. It's like the Hatfield and McCoys. It is the very old. I mean, people are keeping it alive, but here's the thing. Why are they keeping it alive? Is it because it happened to them, or are they carrying that forward? And you're standing back going, you don't really want to participate with that anymore. But you can't seem to get out of the crossfires, the crosshairs. You have one person in particular that doesn't think you get it. And it's like part of it wants to change you. Do you feel like people want to change you? I know you love cultures, but people, have you woke up to it yet, where you begin to hear the different jokes or the different, the news per se? It's not you. You're waking up and saying, I don't want to participate in that anymore. Okay. So you understand it's not you. It is how you're observing that people. It's like, I go back to the story of how the ham, the husband looks at the wife, why are you cutting off the ends of the ham? I don't know. My mother did. Okay. So we ask her, why'd you cut off the ends of the ham? I don't know. My mother did. Go back to the grandma, and grandma says, well, my pan was too small. Get a bigger pan. And it's like we do things without knowing it because it gets passed down. You get to observe that you came in with this immaculate heart and you're looking around, but then for the first time, it's not that you disrespect how they believe, but you're going, wow, do they even know they're even talking like that or seeing that way? And it doesn't matter how you want to get convinced them, but somebody's trying to convince you, like, what are you, stupid girl? You know, I mean, just really get in there and then think, oh my God, I have to get my point across to you, dear, because you don't. And you're like, oh my God. So you can start to feel badgered or feel that. And then the thing is they want you to experience their experience, but did they really have the experience, or are they just upholding what they don't like? Let's say some cultures are meant to hurt other cultures. Okay. Are they just passing down the experience and keeping war alive? Do you understand what I'm saying? And the thing is your part of you is backing away saying, I can't and I don't want to, but you were meant to see this. And some people will get so paranoid, they'll hit the panic button in you. And that's only because your inner world says that we have a panic. And it's just the old stuff that was hooked into it. This is where you need to change the world. You begin to heal out. Even though I hear these people talk this way, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. That means you don't have to lose yourself. You don't have to take sides, because people are going to say, well, if you're not for me, you must be against me. No, there's the third option. And it's be connecting to your spirit, your immaculate heart, and listen to your Christ consciousness and using your intuition. Do you understand that you are beginning to download information about how to do the third option? And one of the things that I talked about a couple of weeks ago was just simply saying, thank you, Spirit. And then all of a sudden you'll begin to show proof that all these beautiful things, all these beautiful things have appeared as answers to help change, because you can't change the top. You have to change it from the bottom. And you are one that was meant to born to stand out and to help create a new world. So good job on that. Repulsed people, you hurt, you what's that? Emotions, thoughts, people, friends. I think you're swapping out. You need a new environment and okay. So thank you, Spirit, for bringing in a new positive environment to help to really see and to awaken. There is romantic concerns when it comes to eating. So that means that if you, whoever you're with or not with, or you're dating or whatever it is, there is your body consciousness is doing a romantic concern, meaning if it's having any issues with relations to, does he love me, blah, 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 then your body all of a sudden will like, go grab an insulin thing, which is candy, or go grab this to mess up our hormones so we don't have to think this way. It's amazing how these, you got your cortisol, you got your insulin, you got your estrogen for women, and any of those, if it does not let go or it's producing too much, sometimes you'll grab food so it disrupts that signal, which is strange, but it happens. Okay. But so basically you need to begin to allow yourself to take that next step. They say you have to begin to understand your internal dialogue. So you're living up here and your internal dialogue's going on at the same time. And they said that as you are learning to live through your spirit, the internal dialogue, which is part of that body's consciousness, says that there's a lot of anxiety that things are going to get repeated. And you can begin to feel how people talk. And let's say you come in and you have mixed blood, which I swear to God, everybody has anyway. But they have no idea that like people don't know that part of me is German. And so let's say they're Germans. Well, if I cared, I see us in a totally different area. But if I cared, they would be insulting Germans and I'd feel like they're insulting me. Okay. That sounds far-fetched, but now I want you to understand this. So if they are not knowing they're intentionally do it, or are they intentionally do it? This becomes the question. And again, you're here listening and you're evolving, you're growing, you're changing, but the body's consciousness goes, hey, it's getting triggered, and you may not become aware that it is being triggered based on old genetic, epigenetic issues. Okay. So when these old epigenetic issues come up, see, it changes the digestive system. It changes all of that. And without you realizing it, you feel attacked. You don't feel it here, but your body's going, and in an environment. And so then the immune system wants to attack back. You may begin to cough. You don't realize it, or you have indigestion. Your body's responding to it. And yeah, I would say the partner is, because you'll be in a space with each other, and you may be growing in at different speeds, or you're growing apart. But either way, you got to begin to, your partner has chosen to help you see in a whole new way of looking. And so we thank that partner for helping you do that. But there's yours, everyone's story. Okay, so the group conscious story. Yes, so the group conscious story you're waking up to is different. Okay, and it's different. Because of that happens, you're not sure what to feel. Okay, so you're learning to define yourself, and this is where you need to write different little things down, where you lose power, what you really believe in, and what do you have to believe that way? Is it mine or is it somebody else's? Good, there's a lot of confirmation there. Okay, what? Do you have a little dog? Did you have a little dog? Because I feel like this one has passed. Yeah, little because size and structure. Sometimes dogs will be huge, look like horses, but this one, the joke is it nips at my heels. It can be somebody else's dog, but however it is, there's a dog present, and the smell of dog triggers you. The sound of dog, the smell of dog, and their behavior. The behavior of dogs trigger you. Something to do with that. And they're saying that you feel, okay, so let's say you're at somebody's house and their dog wants to hump your leg and you're like, get off, stop it. Or the dog wants to keep biting on you and all the owner can see is, oh, aren't they cute? And you're like, no, they're tearing at my flesh. this energy feels like it's lofty. It's like you can't really say something about this dog. You can't. Okay. Besides this, what else? It's the feeling. It's the feeling of. Is you just said indecisive, because if you have an indecisive energy that's happening, can you say something? Can you put up healthy boundaries, or can't you? So you're really beginning to wrestle with these particular things. As far as the indecisive, you need to wake up on this, and where's it at? You need to really begin to change. It's not here. Oh, that's another point. Yes, it is. But how do you get to it? To help this, on the outside of your ankle, there's a little dip. When you feel it, it dips in, okay? On the outside of the ankle. And you'll be feeling, and it'll dip in, and that is your gallbladder point, your source point. I need you to rub that, and you need to stimulate that, change that, so that the body's energy can start flowing through, so that your body doesn't have to always get stuck on being indecisive, or to go into some of those triggers. Now, it's not going to stop all the triggers. You actually need to have a deeper healing. So a private session probably would work better. But at the same time, just manipulating those and learn about the gallbladder meridian will be incredible to help you start to break free from those belief systems that seem to keep repeating themselves on you. Okay? And I see that other people have paid. I'm just going to see. Oh, that's not the right button. That's not the right button. Where is it? Ahaha. Okay, so there has other people. So somebody paid for a 6-minute reading, and it's in e-cash form. Understand, I won't get this for 7 days. And whoever this may be, I'm going to need to find out. So whoever paid an e-check on PayPal, you can either cancel it and repay, or you can talk to me about it, and then we can work on that. But I got to click that one. So we're done with this one. The next person, I think, is Pilly, because it says Zovada Alanis. Is that Pilly? Is that right, hon? No, Pilly, that was actually Sonia. So I'll wait see if Pilly, yes, good. Pilly says yes. Okay, so Pilly, you got 6 minutes, or 6, I think it's 6 minutes for $7. No, I can't remember what my own darn thing was. Just a minute. Okay, so if I go here, wrong thing. There it is. Yes, 6 minutes. So let me clear this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready? And all right, anything you want to talk about in particular, Pilly? Before I hit yes. Who's a degenerate? Clear and degenerate. Well, she says love relationships. Okay. I hope that's not what I said. Okay. When it comes to relationships, we're going to do it a couple ways. This deck seems to be one of Spirit's favorites. Give your relationship a chance. Now, the question is, relationship to self, to other people, one person. Why? Because you or them. All right, so there's somebody in your relationship that is doing a emotionally repressed response, which means they are shoving an emotion down, and they're creating a response. The question is will this person overcome it? Not likely, because they're not open to wanting to let it go. Interesting. So then it creates a distrust between you and this person. So should she keep giving this person, give this relationship a chance? Should she give this person another chance? Now, again, this person can be When you say love relation, sometimes it can be just about family. It can be strangers. It could be the love of your life, as in partner. Should. Okay. The answer of should you give this relationship another chance says free yourself. Knowing that chances are they're not going to evolve from that particular point unless you grow together. But they are unaware. So the emotionally, how many are they squishing down? Feeling attacked. Feeling what? Feeling pride. So they have their pride seems to get in the way. Is that true? Don't see him much in a relationship with him. Well, you're about ready to free yourself. So, is there another one in Horizon? And they said that stay optimistic about your life, your love life. What would you suggest? And that's simply put, start to learn to flirt, and that'll be the breaking of it. Because once you begin to flirt, you don't have to say, oh, I want to date, and then pick a man, or wait for a man to pick you. You begin to flirt, and then your options are different. So you have to learn to open something up in yourself, because you deserve love. So that means you need to match. As you begin to wake up, and a lot of you may have this, is simply put, you haven't developed beyond the old woman way of behaving. And they said that we had been over time hopelessness about how a woman is supposed to be, or how she's portrayed, or this is what she looks like. And in this case, it is learning about the compatibility of you, because you're waking up. If you're waking up, you may as well find somebody that's waking up with you so you can grow together, not just because they're attracted to you and they make you feel good. You have to fall in love with each other's brains, each other's spirit, and each other's heart. And then as long as there's sexual attraction too, it's very important. You can have this dynamic. The main thing they told you to heal before you go further is that you attract men that make you feel like shit, which means you're probably saw is an it. And they may go a courting, make you feel important. It's you on a pedestal, and then as soon as they have you, so you're really doing the old program. As soon as they have you, you become an it. Their life is all important, and then you follow their life, and that you develop yourself here and there. Now you are meant to wake up, and as you're doing that, you are going to find that you're not compatible with all of that in relationships anymore. And so you just say, thank you, Spirit. And you can do the golden lasso. That'll be found on my website. And you go out and you say, thank you for the one that's in alignment with me. And you pull it in. And then any heels, like I always attract asses. Okay, even though I attract an ass, you deeply love myself, or then you pull on it. You're like, oh, but you know what? I always attract people that I don't think are cute. Even though I attract people I don't think are cute. And only those that are ugly love me, just little things. And you begin to heal those little limitations and barriers. Doesn't mean you're going to be opened up to scum. That has nothing to do with it. That means you're pulling your energy off of what you don't want, which attracts, and you're realigning that energy up to what is available to you, what is meant for you, which is here, instead of having to do the old pattern of clumsiness of getting and learning and getting. As you begin to heal and learn yourself, and tapping does an incredible thing, then what happens is you begin to line up to what is better for you. This is the best option out of all of them, and you're going to begin to line up with that. And when you do, you're going to attract in better and healthier and stronger. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Oh, I think that they started seeing me as better than them. Then you need to tap that out, because again, on either part of the scale, you have an old belief system that as soon as a woman becomes stronger, she's a bitch. If she becomes stronger than this, then guess what? She's better than me. And then you have that old male energy that says, I can't have that woman be better than me. I think a great book would be Gary something, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And then when you begin to see these old patterns, you can actually begin to heal this from, for yourself. Yeah, and see, you don't need to, your vibrations don't match. That's what you're telling yourself. She says, they feel less than me. I am more abundant. And that the thing is that again, read that book, or read, you can just type it in, and you're probably going to see some qualities of that book. But these are old paradigms that you're growing out of and you're healing out of, okay, because you're lining up to the whole new world that's coming in. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, let me look and find okay. Next person in line, Samantha Ann McDonald. McDonald. Okay, I love saying that way. I have no idea why. We just have to wait for Sam to appear. Sam, what do you want to work on? And I forgot to see what you paid. Gotta go back. You asked for 11. Okay. Gotcha. So now we have 11 minutes for you, sweetheart. Connect to my dad, please. Yes. Okay. We're calling in Dad. I need you to focus. Oh, okay. We're going to start. As soon as I asked you to that we connected, he's behind bars. It's very interesting. He's trying to tell me that prison, in order to visit with him, you see him is see yourself. Okay, so the bars, he's actually, now he turned it around. So he's actually on the outside and you're inside a prison. He says, what are you chained to? Is you chained? Let me look. No, there's no chains. The window's open, the door's open, but you can't get out of that particular, tell me about this. You carry around an overtime hopelessness. What do you feel of a particular feeling? Yes. Something about infamy. You're bad. When you were 3 years old, you claimed yourself that you're bad. It must be because I was bad. It must be because I'm bad. And because of the statement, if that's true, understand you need to heal that, because it can be like, law of attraction. It's not a broadcast. No, it must be because I was bad. So this will go out, and then all of a sudden you will see things that look bad, things will happen to you. Well, it must be because I was bad. Literally tap out, even though it must be because I'm bad. Get it out, because it's very strong. Again, you can make it a point where you can heal it out. And then there's a story you tell yourself. When the bad stuff happened, and you tell yourself a story. And they said, pay attention, write that down. There's a theme to this story, because within that story, it is that you're silently brooding. It's the way you coped. And then you suppress. It's the way you're supposed to suppress the happiness, because if in guilt, you feel guilty for having happiness. If you allow yourself to have happiness, then they died for nothing. Do you blame yourself for your dad's death? No, it's not what I'm hearing. Hold on. You lived, they died. So you suppress your happiness. You suppress, because it must have been something you've done. I hope you're getting this and you write it all down, because your story really stems from when you were 4 years old. Did somebody die then? No, it's just a habit you watch people do. So you learned it from the adults around you in your environment, your culture. Yes. So other people would exert their power, their power. When you did something wrong, no, their power. Tell me more about their power. They expected her to be there for them. Is that what you said? Yes. So you expected okay, we're just going to do this. Dad, did you expect her to be there for you? No. But did she believe in her mind that she thought you expected her to be there for you? Yes. Okay, that's how we're getting it. So just so you understand, it's how you think and believe that you were supposed to be there for them, and that when they felt like shit, they displayed a certain behavior, you then felt guilty because you're out being happy. So this scenario can be in anything. Like when a person died and you're out enjoying yourself, it's like, then you have to understand that, oh, they died because I was happy. Okay. It's how your 4-year-old is twisting everything, and it's time to begin to let that go. You're saying something's invading the triple armor. Hopelessness. You cling onto hopelessness as your poison, as your prison, because you feel like you deserve it. Oh, honey, no. It's a habit now. So is that in the body's consciousness? Yes. Is it up here? Yes and no. There's a bridge. You have to cross this. Tell me more about this bridge. Discouraged. So you're making progress consciously. You're making progress, but your physical body says no, you can't. And then so discouraged is sent up, and so okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, no, I got it. So you're being happy-go-lucky, everything is going good, and all of a sudden your body's consciousness is, what the fuck is she doing? She's supposed to be miserable right now. You're supposed to be feeling bad. Where's that guilt process? How are we going to do this? Oh, I know. Let's shoot up and send her some discouragement. And if she can't feel that or think that, fine, let's send the energy out. The body's consciousness sends out, so your inner world creates your outer world, and all of a sudden somebody discourages you. And then it does the domino effect about how you're supposed to act and be. Does that make sense? What do you want her to do? She has a habitual fear. Habitual fear. The old belief, I'm going to lose him. This is another trigger that sits there. I'm going to lose him. You had the track runs so deep that the rut in the road is now, I know what word you're trying to say, but I can't pronounce it. Haven't you seen how I tried to use those names? You know how in the earthquake and then the earth splits apart, goes down to the abyss. So look at that. I mean, it goes deep, and it needs to be really tamed, pulled in. And the reason that you don't want to let go of it is because you're petrified to lose him. I'm going to lose him. I'm petrified I'm going to lose him. So now you got a double thing of feeling. Wow, this makes me want to turn my stomach and throw up. You have put such a limit on yourself that you cannot have an expanded importance of self because you just said, I can't. And you know the emotions and the excuses and the reasonings, and you want to hold on to those excuses and the reasonings, but those are the ones you have to tap out. Do you understand? What? Does she obsess? She has an obsession. What are you showing me? You're showing me her sitting there looking at something, and she's doing an obsession. Oh, her dad. Duh. Do you have a picture? Is that what you're doing? Okay, obsessing. All right. All right, we're going to call in the angels, and Sam, let your dad be present right in front of you right now, okay? And I'm going to help him. He wants to place his hand on your heart. And he's putting one hand here. And he says, honey, I want you to understand this is a program. And he's just sending some love. He's taking the energy, because energy can't be destroyed or created. So he is balancing out your energy. He's literally, I want you to feel it. Don't be afraid. I want you to feel the energy of your body balancing. Your dad says, let me please do this healing on you, dear. Now notice how you're focusing. Now he says, please put your hand up like this onto your forehead. He says, I want you to notice you can't make it stop. It just keeps spinning or it keeps moving. He keeps showing me something. It keeps repeating. He says, now we're going to make it stop. Now as that begins to stop, the next one is now moving from what I can see. We're going to actually make that stop. You have the power to do so. You're putting your finger on the record player or putting it on something so it makes it literally stop. You can feel it moving, but it slows down. He says, you run with those thoughts. You run with those thoughts. He says, you need to stop running with those thoughts. They're like scissors. Stop doing that. He says, you need to go tap out heal and guilt. So we're going to look at those meridians. Okay, so now you want to hear it. So he's doing this. He's helping you create a shield. But he's using my hands. So we're going to create a shield. He says, you need to open that up. And he says, now I want you to feel my love coming in. And it's like a golden white light in the inside. And it's going to open up the Immaculate Heart. And it's not meant to make you feel lost. You got to let that go. He says, keep your hand there. Keep your hand there. Every time you have loss, every time you think of me, every time, let it go, let it go, let it go. We're going to preserve all the positive learning, start to remove, transcend, and let it go. He says, you got to take the sword out of your own heart. Apparently, you stabbed yourself like a samurai. You have permission. If you want to keep there, you can. Otherwise, help me pull it out. Some of you, I understand the samurai does it to the third, but in this case, it was her choice. He's like, I'm gonna, it's like a surgeon would sew up the aura. What he's doing is he's learning how to mend. He's using me. He's in. There's a doctor present. I don't know who the doctor is, but it's I'll let love come out of that Immaculate Heart and know that everything is awesome because you got to stop separating. Stop separating. You're separating. He says, stop the separation. Let me in. Let me talk. Let me communicate. He says, every time, put your hand here. That was different. No, it's good. My sessions are, whatever. I can't talk. Give me a minute. My brain's like, thank you, Sam, for that. Thank you, Father. Blowing you kisses and say, geez, he goes, I'm right there all the time anyway. Got to stop thinking I'm separate. Next person is Elena Impala. Elena Impala. Hi, Green Mother. All right, so now I need to go 7. No, 6. Clear it. Did we ever figure out who paid by an e-check? Let me see. Just real quick. I don't know if I can do this while I'm on the show. I think it was Danny, but we'll find out. I'll find out in a minute. My brain is still switching. Just give me a minute. This, so I'm just going to step out of letting that energy because we're creating a balance. And there we go. You guys can continue the healing. I left an impression so that can continue. I'm now in this space over here. The person's check that says Lima Begum. I don't know who you are. If I knew who you are, you'll get honored. One way or the other, you'll get the reading. Oh, my eyesight's back. Ha! Oh, how much are the readings? Look up above. You'll see that you got $7 for 6 minutes or 11 for 11. Or if anybody calls in, they can get a 5-minute free read. Oh, thank you, Amy. So who is that? Okay, so the next person on the list is Elena Impala. Elena, sweetheart, are you here? And what is it you want to do and talk about? If you were going to call in, you need to do it when I'm in between readings, and you do it because we're friends through. And so what you do is you just notice through Messenger and you put it that way. Oh, there you are, Elena. Okay, so nobody call in yet. Elena, what did you want to talk about, sweetheart? And if we can define who that other person is, Lima Begum, then that'd be great. My grandpa and my finding about my own spirit. All right, Gramps, you heard that. Hold your picture in your mind. Oh, God. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm truly, 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 truly sorry. I don't know what you're sorry about. You're not telling me. That's fine. You're truly, 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 truly sorry. I don't expect forgiveness, but understand that the gesture is there, knowing what you've done. Know that you, to honor the feeling that there's a feeling that you have. And so apparently you two know what you're talking about. Okay. You, her, there's guilt. The word guilt popped up. Lofty energy. So I'm assuming that the energy between you two, one, there was lofty energy, things were left unsaid. It changed the environment. So there was a particular moment that you guys had that changed the energy between you two. And that, what age particular for her? At 1 year old. Okay, here's an interesting thing. He's showing me a picture, like for an example, doesn't mean it happened. There was an argument, or that you're trying 1 year old trying to get you to go to bed or whatever, in that, and let's say you grabbed onto Grandpa's leg and he's about ready to fall, and his reaction was to kick, and he kind of kicked you away or whatever, but you took it as something else. Okay. There's so this is part of things that he's carried forward. And he said then there was at 3 years old, and then at 7. That's the guilt that he was carrying, but then it created you to her have a habit of what? Of having a little bit of panic that you're going to lose him. Oh, that's interesting. But it's just the way that the energies of moving. He says now it is an auto response within her to do what? Is to feel helpless, and when you can't figure something out. So does this have to do with a love relationship? No, with your own spirit. So is her spirit inside her body? No. So that's why the spirit jumped out. So we need to connect that. Okay. So you want your spirit back in your body. All you have to do is allow yourself to follow along. You can use your hand, or you can get a refrigerator magnet, like the one I just threw on the ground. It doesn't matter. Refrigerator magnet. Use your hand. Okay. I'm going to use this, and we're going to set it up, and we're going to call your spirit. Wait, is there anything we have to remove? Oh my God. Is that the only thing? Yes. How many times do you want to roll that out? Oh, okay. So connection to the oh my God, and it's creating a reaction. We're going to pull. I'm sending you a healing. You can take it in and you can copy me. Watch this again and again. And you can connect up to the energy because spirit knows. Very good. And how many times? Okay, at least. So now we're going to start here, and we're going to say, we're going to put her spirit back into the body where it belongs. Putting her spirit back into the body where it belongs. Putting her spirit back into her body where it belongs. Putting your spirit back into the body where it belongs. Putting your spirit back in the body where it belongs. Okay, is the body connected to the spirit? Good. Is the spirit is it connected to everything it's supposed to? Where is it not connecting? Do I put that near the computer? You're absolutely correct. It's not connecting. You're not centered. So do we need to do this, or you do need to do a Wayne Cook? Okay, Wayne Cook is, you only got 2 minutes left. I'd say go to Medicine Woman for you. Look under healing tools, and look at Wayne Cook posture. Or okay, got to get you centered. The auto response. He says that there's overtime hopelessness. You believe that in that so much. Tap it out. Even though I believe that, you know what? I know overtime. This is the same shit, different day. It's just go through, tap it out, get it out. Do several rounds of it. I think somebody's mowing the lawn. I hope that doesn't interfere too much. You all can hear me still. They're saying that you're not able to be you. You suppressed yourself. These emotions kick in and you suppress yourself. Spirit, take care of that. Discouraged, and the body triggers to be discouraged. So outside noises like this literally will cause you not to be able to stay centered because you get focused out here, and you have to do this. And literally self-care becomes you can't do it. You can't have that self-care. Okay, let's see. Lives through. You live through your story. Oh, don't tell me they're cutting a tree down. Lives through the story. This has to do, that noise, the cutting has to do with how you cut yourself down. Literally. So you do self-denigrating thoughts. What else do we need to know about this? And it goes on and on and on and on. It won't stop. So that's like overtime hopelessness. Okay, literally you need to take charge of that so that you don't have to be exposed or to hear that. If that makes any sense. You need to disrupt those channels. Jess Begum, yes. You send it in cash payment or an e-check, which means that there's a 7-day waiting period for me to even receive it. So I could pay you and then you can cancel it. We don't want that. So we may have to, see, that's the thing, is that we may have to, see, and I don't know who you are. So if I knew who you are, we could get away with it. But I know that I can honor it after the show or... All right, so just give me a minute. I have to figure out, Jess, if I'm going to do that. Because like I said, I normally don't because I've been ripped off before. Oh, no, don't do that. The situation will improve. Well, that's good. Within the next few months. Okay, so would you like me to give her reading? Is that what we're doing? That's not what I asked. Do we? Okay, so if you can resend it and cancel that one, then we can do it on the air because this is in the near future. Otherwise, you have to wait until it clears and then I contact you and then I give you a reading. Yeah, that's what Spirit said. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I wish I could do that. We'll see how that goes. What I'm going to do while we decide whatever she decides to do or how to correct that, then, we'll go from there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think Amy said she helped me. Here's the thing. I'm not sure whether or not Danny, if you paid, I didn't see the payment, Danny. Danny, are you still here? Because I don't see. I'll double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did all those. Well, now we know who that person is. And we're just going to go from there. I'm going to do a 1.5 reads until we've seen any difference. Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to double check to make sure. Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. Some reason I thought you did. I had a message here. We're gonna shoot. How many? Okay, I don't know who's left. So what I'm gonna do is Miss Aim. Let's see here what we're gonna do. Is Esmeralda here? Esmeralda Zermeno? Danny, if you can call in real quick, you can get your 5-minute free read if you wanted. Or whoever wants to catch and go get through first. And then we got to call in with an issue. I have this issue. It's not to get a free read as much as I have this issue. Okay. Oh, good. You're still here. Okay. Pixels. Anybody else having issues? Oh, all right. Danny. Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so this call in and to get this 5-minute is that what is your issue, my dear?
Well, everybody's been looking at going through spirits tonight, so I figure I'll chip in on that one. I had an individual a couple years ago who unfortunately ended his life, and I wanted to check in on him if possible. His name's Jeffrey. I know, it's so cool.
All right, so are you able to, so are you able to connect with this person? Have you ever felt like you had any messages from them?
Yeah, we actually had, I don't know if you remember or not. Turn that back on now. Sorry, toddlers. You had done so in a live stream as well. And I had sent a message.
Okay. He said that there's a lot of anxiety and panic about his death. What happened? I mean, were you there?
No, unfortunately, he was actually, I was in the hospital when it happened.
So did you get the anxiety
and
afterwards?
Yeah, because, well, that too, but for like 3 days prior, I had this nagging urge, call him. And he'd been going through stuff, so he'd asked me not to contact for a little bit. And I was waiting on him to kind of contact, and I didn't listen to that intuition.
All right. He says, well, first of all, don't feel worthless. Okay. He says, because you felt like you didn't take and honor that intuition, the spirit was interfering. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have the intuition to do so. That's good. But at the same time, spirit was interfering. So you couldn't, even if you wanted to, you would have still been, distracted, you know?
Oh, yeah. The same thing was happening to my husband that night. He had actually gone to the ER.
Oh, geez. So what is... Yeah. Since that event, you have been very self-conscious as the right and wrong way to do things. So you have been restricting yourself terribly about how to listen to spirit. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's like if you want it too bad, then you'll start to see things. And that's where I have trouble. It's like trying to distinguish between what it is that I want to see and what is actually coming through.
Okay, well, this is about indecisiveness. Your gallbladder meridian runs up and through the brain. I mean, it pretty much controls the whole part of the brain. And it goes all the way straight down to the body. When you just described, they said that it's a lopsided on both sides, so it's disconnecting. Yeah, so both sides are not communicating. One is still frozen. Oh, because we're tapping into this. So just do this for me on top of your head. And we're just going to look at this. And we're going to put in, you can't tolerate yourself. Put your hand down by your chest. And we're just going to take out the intolerance. This is there we go. And then go back up to here. Now you have a broadcast message that says, I should have done it. I should have done so. I should have done so. I should have done so, and that energy pushes out there, which causes people to show up really interesting with you. And then it gets very confusing. So then I want you to take your hand and you're just going to say, broadcast. Okay. What is, I should have done so. Okay. Broadcast energy. I should have done so. Broadcast energy. I should have done so. Oof. Broadcast energy. I should have done so. And he's now tapping you on the head. Broadcast energy. I should have done so. Okay. Is that gone? Yes. All right. Now he's tapping you on the head and he's tapping you here. And he says you have an awkwardness to you. So have you come up against somebody? I mean, like talk to him, whatever, but they, it's telling me to look at you. So do people judge you based on your looks? Oh, is that what we're doing? Yes. Okay.
Constantly.
Oh, okay. And that is because you, somebody told you, you deserve to be treated that way. Really? No, she don't deserve it, but she believes it. So it creates this panic. Oh, this is really old. Self-imposing limitations. And that's based on the old one, the new one. You have another one. Good Lord, really? Where's that at? You have another broadcast. Criticism. Oh, people are going to criticize me. Oh, that was really good. Okay, so we're going to finish this out. So you can put your hand on top of your head and he's going to help. And you're going to say broadcast message. I must be criticized. Broadcast message. I must be criticized. Broadcast message. I must be criticized. One more. Oh, God. Okay, I can't even talk. Broadcast message. I must be criticized. I am criticized. I am criticized. You got two double backing. Okay, I am criticized. And I am criticized. Okay. All right. His energy is just making me all... so if you start getting goose pimples, you understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Love you. See you. Goodbye. Okay. Yes. Because time's up. Good job. All right. Thank you very much for calling, dear. I appreciate it. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Later.
All right. Bye. Now, see, that wasn't all that bad. That was all good. But we're not playing that game right now. Just give me a second. I've got time-wise, I've got to catch up now. Double checking about if the situation with the PayPal. All right, we will do that. And Jess, Begum, here's the thing. I can give you a minute reading the what you paid for. I have to wait for the cash the check to clear. It didn't go directly in. It's going to, as soon as it clears, I will contact you. So let's make sure we're friends. Okay. If you understand, because I want to honor that unless you don't want it anymore. That's your choice. Try not to do an e-check form if possible, because when I do these live reads, it makes it impossible to do it live. I will contact you. No, it says that the money will be coming and it takes usually a few days to get here. That's what it's saying because it came into e-check instead of paying direct. Do you understand? So you look for me and through fan page or whatever, and then we'll become friends so that I can call you when it clears, and then you'll get your reading. Okay? So, anybody, now we're just going to do this. Anybody that says yes, please, you get your reading. I'm just going to start over. I don't even know who's left. So, Jess Begum, we're just going to give you that minute read, and then we'll talk after the later about it. Ready? So the liver and the bladder, what's happening? They're not communicating. So you having sleeping issues? Oh, day issue. So right before you go, so between 1 and 3 at night and 1 and 3 in the afternoon, there is some type of energy that you feel. And what's interesting is this energy starts to affect you even more. And when that energy affects you more, it makes me sick. It makes me want to. So your energy's off. I would definitely say look up HORARY, horror points, and look at the 1 and 3, and then find the spots on the body to acupressure, rub those. Do that a couple times between 1 and 3 those times. You don't have to do it at night unless you're awake. You may have to do that for a few days to correct it, because what it does is that energy comes in, it makes you become self-conscious, it makes you go right into wrong. So you jump into a behavior you don't even know you're doing. How's that for you? And we are going to read what Spirit says. We're going to jump into a Deborah Damon. She paid for 11. We're going to get there, people. We really will. I'm loving today. Spirit's awesome. So, Deborah, if you would like to say to me what it is that you want to talk about, we'll go from there. There's a lot of yes, please. Oh, it's Maha Williams. Gotcha. What do you want to talk about? We'll go from there. You have... My aura is pinching in at the waist. Jesus, okay. Relationships and with Sean in business. Are you talking about the fourth chakra? It's got a shield on it. Okay, timer. You have a shield over your, right here. And it, what's it doing? That energy, it restricts the flow of energy so much so that it affects up here in the trachea. Okay, and you want that removed. Yes. Okay, do you want it removed? Because this is basically a heart wall. How many heart walls do you see? 2. We're going to remove both. Yes. If you want a healing, you say yes, please, so that I can, Maya Williams. To be failure. You have a failure, and the thing is that this is part of the hidden heart wall that sits right there because you don't want failure in. So I have to wait and read. We'll get to the yes. Okay, good. So this stops you from loving. So you're saying hidden heart wall failure, hidden heart wall failure, hidden heart wall failure, hidden heart wall failure. Ooh, oh, that one felt rotten. I don't like those. Loftiness, hidden heart wall loftiness, hidden heart wall loftiness, hidden heart wall loftiness. That's the only way you can have relationships. Okay, so in the relationship, do you have somebody that's very lofty? It is somehow it's all about their agenda, their schedule, or they're going to die if they don't. What is up with Spirit about this? I'm not reading those half a deck. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Really? Okay. All right, let's try this again. Spirit, who is very clumsy over there? Just give me a card. And I would have read the ones that popped up, but they are all popped up, and I'm not reading the whole deck. Ready? Gotcha. Okay, the first thing they say they want you to do is that you're worth waiting for. And the love of your life is worth waiting for. The thing is that you, Jesus, we're going to, so you pick people that have control issues. They have issues and with their environment. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And the particular reason that they have the control is because they don't want to feel demoralized. They want to feel concerned. So that means that they had a relationship that they weren't people didn't care about them. There's a separation that has to occur. Is this from that person? No, it's in the what you're doing now. You have to reset up the energy between you and the love, because right now it is just one-sided. You're not able to have you in the relationship. And so you have to learn to look at paying attention to the red flags. And what does that mean is that your pattern is very simple. And the pattern is about how the environment makes you feel safe or unsafe. And in the moment you feel safe, then you think that's compatible. But the moment that that becomes unsafe, you don't know how to get out of the incompatible. You're like, ugh. So it's literally beginning to define yourself. So you may find yourself in I have to do this. So I have to be very codependent in the relationship. So are you always constantly doing? You're addicted to something in the relationship. Like, I'm of service. I can do this. They're saying you have to be careful with that, because you're just running a program. It's not really feeling with your heart. Not really, because the question is does he really want the relationship? Remember, he has issues that he doesn't even know he's having, and he's living in a world alone because those issues are controlling it. And this card says that the only thing you're really going to get is unrequited love, meaning you can give love, but you're not going to get the love back. You see, and it's like, because of this, it makes this relationship very lopsided. So we already understand the program. It says in reverse, it says, give yourself a real relationship a chance. I mean, stop giving it that many chances, because you're constantly, it showed up like this. You're constantly giving that particular relationship a chance. But who's paying the price? It's not you. I mean, it's not them, it's you. Okay. But you were told, so you got a gaslighter. So then all of a sudden it becomes your fault. Is that the case? You got to see this program, the way that things are spoken, the way they're talking is that it's the way the words are. Greatest man on earth, but it's the way that he has to. Does he gaslight? Does he have to feel like he's superior? Does he feel like he has to be king of the hill? What do we call it, people? The mega, the alpha. And then the thing is you're attracting him because you have to heal family relations. That means that you're attracting in what you know. So at 2 years old, you're attracting that in. So at 2 years old, the type of person is that you get very muddled and you have to do all the love and you don't feel like you get the love back. And this is your pattern. So you're going to chase. That's how you want it. The point is that you still got to listen to how friends talk. Okay, regardless of how close you are, you may attract people in that can't get close. Did you have that as in your relationship when you were little? You just can't get close. Understand that there's dynamics. Okay, so this person, you may be attracted to their behavior, but you also didn't get the love you gave, but you didn't get back. You're probably doing that again as an adult. Remember, what happens in the past is going to keep repeating itself until you stop. No, energy is completely shifted. It completely shifted. You are dreaming of a wedding, but here's the thing. You've got to not jump too far ahead. You have got to stop the program so that you can move into what you really want. I'll see you later, Danny. So this card says release your ex. It's upside down. So it says don't release. And it says, let me say, you don't want to release what? You don't want to release. Okay. It doesn't mean if you release people from the past that they're going to die. It just means releasing the pattern. So you don't know how to release? Gotcha. Where? What? So the third chakra of knowing how to have courage, have strength. It's that part of you that all of a sudden feels scared because now I'm just like, okay. We are always addicted to an emotion to some form. And we can't help ourselves. Now, the last thing you want to do is repeat the X. But you are seeing a pattern that you haven't let go of. Who? Them? You. What's coming off of you? There's an energy that comes off of you that you feel greatly discouraged when it comes to having relationships. And an energy broadcast will literally draw people in that will make you feel like, oh, we have a chance, but then you're greatly discouraged because you pick a relationship that doesn't allow it to go past being discouraged. Do you understand that? It's literally a chord that's in there. You recognize it because there's an awkwardness, but then it thinks, I'm chemistry, I'm attracted, but then there's this awkwardness. But then what makes your heart sing is you're repeating, like, let's say you loved your daddy, but yet he had ignored you and all this stuff. So let's just say, okay. But the first love that you felt, your soul is saying that you will need to rekindle. You want that love that you used to have. It knew love at one point, but don't have. You knew love. So now you're older, you're going to attract people with the same characteristics and traits, and you knew love and you want that back. And so there's a face to it when you are attracting in. But because you have this stuff sitting here, it's a push-pull. Get out of the way. Even though they may be the one, get out of the way. You may be the one, get out of the way. I know you don't realize you are zeroing in on repeating a story. If healing's new to you, understand. Let it become your best friend because it'll pull you out of these things. A private reading and a healing with me can help detach negative things that don't need to be there, and it rechanges the way that your body is creating life. All right? Because you have this instability that runs, and that is in muddled instability keeps those relationships at bay. It's meant to. It's part of what you know. Disrupt that, clear that out. You're going to change all of these dynamics within you. Not just a little bit, but you heal them so deeply you can heal it permanently, and you can have better. Do you understand? You can have better. Okay, well then focus on the fact you want love, but Spirit may say, okay, here's your goal. You want love. Your GPS is to that, but now you need to heal yourself because the love that that your soul wants you to line up with, it's not going to use the old mindset to get you there. It's not going to have the old programs to get you there. So your GPS is going to say, it's focused on love. Well, you got to heal this, or you got to change this, or you have to learn something here. And then it's like moving the puzzles around until you've lined up to what you need. That's why a lot of times I just tell people to do private readings if they want to, especially if you have to move that many pieces around. It varies. You go to my fan page, and you'll see that services and, the short reads cost the most. And then the longer minutes you have, the price is dropped. So it costs you less to have more time. Benefits you. And it goes quick. Now, I'm going to check again. I want people to say yes, please. And then we'll do these one minute reads because I don't know who's left. Okay, so the first person that says yes, please, if you haven't had one. Oh, thank you, Ames. Yeah, she's going through a series with me right now, and so she knows how much you're welcome. She knows how much dramatically her life has changed just from some June 10th, and it's only been a little over 30 days. and we haven't worked consistently every day. So Page, aren't. Page. Discouraged. You lead life with discouragement because you think that if you get your hopes up, it's just going to fail. So if you lead with discouraged, then you won't have to put your defenses up and feel helpless. This pattern was born out of when you were about 5 months old. You watched it and you absorbed it. So you're supposed to put your happy-go-lucky self on hold. Well, that's not what you need to do. You need to change that program so you can let yourself be happy-go-lucky, and that you can let spirit and love guide you. There's a panic if you do it out of your routine. I see that, but it's only because you have arrested development. If you were to go and say, what do we need to heal first? And it says that you need to heal that you were disapproved of. You begin to look at everything where people have disapproved of you, and you tapped it out, healed it out. If you're going to do it on your own, then the rest of that will start to change, and then you can start getting rid of doubt. Or discouragement is your way of living. Kaylee, Lucero. Okay. So, Kaylee, ready? Kaylee, overwhelm. So you overwhelm yourself, they say, because you get caught up into thinking, and it creates this massive story, this little mountain out of the molehill. But and the thing is you can actually create a good story. The thing is it's the emotions that attach itself. And the emotions, because you've done this for so long, you don't have to have a story. The emotions want to be felt because you're addicted to it. It's like a drug. And this story will unfold. So what emotions are causing this? And they said, discouraged. You're discouraged as well. And anxiety. These two emotions create a mountain out of a molehill, and they make you repeat the particular past. Why? Because that is how you resolved an issue at 5 years old, but it actually caused you to have an arrested development, meaning you couldn't develop beyond that. So you have to take those out and tell the subconscious mind that you do not need to go there every time in order to grow, because it only is repeating the pattern. I'd say definitely heal that. Jennifer Patricia Buse, B-U-R-S-E. Their way or the highway, because you may not even realize, but the people that are in your space make you feel irrelevant. And you were okay with that. And now you're like, no, I'm not okay with that. You're beginning to stand up, and you know that you're going to get scorned. I feel your strength is stronger. But you're like, but I don't want to act mean like they do. You don't have to. And you heal out the certain patterns that would appear, and then you can show up differently than the way they teach you. But it's only if you heal. I mean, I know how to do it, and I know how to help you, but you become very self-conscious of the right and wrong. So this is old teachings that interfere with how you're going to move and to be in the next space. It gets very confusing. I can understand that because it creates a discouragement. Robin Slapnick. Robin, where are you going? Vivid dreaming. Is this a dream as in sleep? No. A daydream? No. Manifesting? No. You pick up on other people's dreams. What? Their sleeping dreams? The way they awake. So you try to help people to manifest their reality by giving yourself away too much. They're saying you don't put self-care and put yourself in the self-care boat. So if you focus on helping other people, there's nothing left in your tank for you. They said that this is a habit that you don't even realize on how deep of a level, because you create an indifference to your own self. Oh, I take care of myself well. What are you talking about? But if you really look, you create an indifference to yourself, so you don't have to feel this. And they're saying that it's catching up to you. And the reason you don't want to is because you don't want to feel awkwardness within yourself. Megan Johnson. I self. You try to say me, myself, and I. No, I, self. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Defensive. I, self-defensive. You're self-defensive. Well, why couldn't you just say okay. I have to be because there's panic and there's worry. And they are going off inside of you. So you have a particular program that's running in the body's consciousness. Gotcha. And you're not aware of it. And it shows up as like fever blisters or ulcers, so it creates a physical symptom. That's what they're referring to. But it's your strategy. You put these together, and the strategy is so that you don't have to be irrelevant. That's interesting. That'd be fun to clean. Dawn Horvitz. What? People see me as inefficient and I can't do it. Oh, so that's because you grew up in a paradigm that says, usually it comes from a man, that is, if I can't do it, you can't do it. And you got to really wake up to that paradigm, and you're like, oh, well, I'll just go over here to talk to people that actually can see my value or that I can do it. Because you're not lining up. You're just stuck in this group. You need to pull yourself up and line up over here. But you have a panic to doing that because all you know about how to survive is you stay into this hell. And they said, and then you're willing to sacrifice your happy-go-lucky. This is what you used to do. That's what you did at 5, so that you can have friends and you can be involved and you can be loved and you can be, but your body is like, I felt that rejection so deeply that I have to stop myself. So basically you had to, well, no, I have to guard myself. Because you know what contempt feels like, because somebody had given you the feeling of contempt and you're like, oh my God. So heal how you know contempt. Maria Lee. Oh, my battery died. Maria Lee. I see 2 of you. I don't understand that, but it look like a set of twins, or somebody that looks just like you, or you have someone that's a best friend that just has an just like you, but there's an indifferent. You're beginning to the point where you don't like something like that. You want to be your own person, but you don't know how to act mean, because you're starting to see that you're not 2 of a kind, or you're not 1 of a kind. You're 2 of a kind, and that you are developing opinions and things that matter to you. And you know you're not heard, and you have to follow along with this particular relationships that you're actually causing. You're feeling intolerant. You can't tolerate this anymore. You haven't exploded, but you haven't figured out how to get away or to be your own person within this particular relationship. And you don't want to be lofty, and you don't want to be any of these people, because it would just be horrifying, because you just, yeah. Okay, so now I go over here and we have, oops, wrong button. So Delinda Haynes, Delinda. You 2 are having problems between 5 and 7 at night, or in early in the morning. That's large intestine and kidney. Those 2 are, the energies are off. Your circadian rhythms are off. I would say look up HORARY, HORARY points, see where to rub, and rub those. They said that this energy creates helplessness. You literally can feel during those times that you just feel off, like you're being attacked. You just feel like, it reminds me of bugs. Just like creepy, crappy things. It doesn't make sense to me. But you're like, ugh. But it's a sensation, and you don't like it anymore, because your physical body says, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. Rub those points. I would say 30 seconds on each one. You'll see it, like I said. Oh, well, there goes my, whatever. I'll clean it up later. Robin. Oh, Robbie. Hey, did I just do? Oh, is there another Slapnik? Are they really? No, it's the same person. Okay. Oh, I thought I had another one. Lisa Hildebrand. Oh, Yeah, it's interesting because they're showing me, your guides are right here. They're showing me that you're not sure what to do. You're inside and you're outside. You're looking in. You feel indifferent. You can't get past this particular indifference feeling. But it's within. It's not something you're looking at indifference. It's within. There's an indifference. So you're in a transitional. I know they're going to try and make me say a word I can't say. Oh, I'll just let it go. She's in between. Gotcha. Loftiness. You're beginning to be aware of how your energies, how you react, how you respond can be a little bit lofty, because you're copying your mother. Oops. Sorry about that. It's just that you picked up this trait, it's behavior, you saw it, and you're beginning to see, I don't like this part of myself. So you're getting to the point where apparently another healing needs to come in junction or tap it out. One of the things, it's right there. Understand you need to go to your 12D energy and add that. If I don't know how you were taught, but add that to help clear it out. Maybe add this while you're doing the 12D with that particular emotion so that when you can hold your 12D longer. Okay, so when people say yes, please all the time, and I've already done it, so now I need to move past that. Remember, I reread these. If you want a card, you hit love, and then if you want, you share and you get another card. Renee. I can do Renee. Renee Patterson. You're welcome. Renee Patterson. You others, pattern, make me feel like shit. Is that an asking? It's what you know. It's your part of your story. So notice how you're like, you make me feel like shit. Okay. That energy of direction. Okay. You make me feel like shit. That energy direction is what you need to tap out. I would go one step further and hold R2S. And you're going to think about how you are saying it. So you're going to see yourself looking at this person. You made me feel like shit. Because it's that energy direction that's causing a backlash, and it's affecting your stomach area, which then affects your lungs, because the stomach is affecting your lungs. And then you're going to do is to hold to R2S and think that and get that down from 10 down to 0. And you know that you need to keep disapproving of them before they disapprove of you. So again, holding R2S and healing it on that direction. Okay. All right. And now if there's anybody else that didn't get a reading, just say yes, please. And I'll give you one. And so 40 people are going to get cards. Checking over here. We're all good. So Queen, if you're there, if you again, if anybody's in YouTube land, you say yes, please, because I'm dim checking that. Otherwise, I have another show tomorrow night. It is, this one was considered during the day. And so tomorrow night will be at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday in South Australia. So today is Monday right now for me at 2:24 p.m. So Ingrid, Artemis, Corna. Letting go of an indecisive feeling. What this does, if you have indecisiveness, it makes you vulnerable. And at 2 years old, it worked for you because it got you out of having to do something. But now it attracts more people in to what? That are very lofty, that they can control you in a relationship. And this is such an auto response pattern. You don't even know that it's going off in your matrix. But now it's just, instead of helping you, it's taking your energy and you're making yourself very deficient. And it puts you in a position that you also have to say, I have to have lack and that I have to keep doing this because that's all I know. So definitely change that, sweetheart. Heather Lynn White. There's a panic. Yours? When you're around people, you can tell when there's panic going on inside of them. They may not show it on their face. So your gift and your ability is that you are picking up particular emotions. The only problem is you're absorbing it in. And you began to do that at 2 years old. And that's what gave you become a great sensitive. Okay. But if in the world of allergies, understand if you are becoming a sensitive out here, you can create a sensitivity on a physical level that causes you to be sensitive to food, sensitive to different things, because when you picked up that panic at 2, it literally had to do with food and in the environment. So you may have allergies and your body keeps thinking that there's a threat. So it's going to keep going on and on. So you're going to have to do a deep healing on that. And if you can't do it, understand, you make an appointment with me. Write down on a piece of paper what we talked about, and then we will kick back in and resolve that. You're welcome. Thank you, Amy. You're welcome, Renee. So yes, check the people over here. All is good. Spirit has done some interesting things today. I hope you like the communication that Spirit did in earlier today. And who knows what they'll talk about tomorrow night. You're all wonderful people. And I will say that I will talk to you tomorrow. Otherwise, make an appointment and we can work and heal and get you on the fast track of becoming a spiritual human. So you don't have to be stuck in the hells that you have. Always, what do I always say? Stay blessed. And then we'll talk to you tomorrow.